Namaskar friends, welcome to the channel JIV and CIV Made Simple. Today we are starting our unit number 15 theory portion. Chapter name is ancillary service. So let's get started. Let's see what are the topic which we have to study. So let's start with the remittance in introduction part. So friends, we are going to understand remittance in the simplest way possible. Remittance simply means transferring money, right? Whenever I say remittance, it just means what? It just means transferring money. Okay. So this can be from one branch of a bank to another branch of the same bank. So it can be from one branch to another branch. Okay. Or from one bank to a different bank. Right. Or to a different bank. So this can be two things. One branch to another branch or one bank to another bank. Now the question is, well, how can the customer send money? So there are two types of remittance. The first kind of remittance is within the same city, right? The first kind of remittance within the same city. And what are the techniques? The first is the banker check, and right, banker check, that is called BC. So through BC within same city. And the second case is from one city to another city, right? And the second case is from one city, from one center to another. So what are the techniques for that? Through demand draft, mail transfer, telegraphic transfer, NEFT, right, and RTGS. So demand draft, in short we call it DD, which is the paper-based way to send money. Mail transfer, money transfer via mail. TT means, fast electronic transfer. NEFT is online transfer in batches. RTGS means instant online transfer for large amount. So these are the different kinds of way that a customer send money. So two type of remittance are there. Within the same city, banker check. From one city to another, DD, MT, NEFT, RTGS, TT. These are the different techniques. So all these services may have some charges for using them, right? So I hope I have answered two questions. What is the meaning of remittance? And the second question, how can a customer send money? So the third question is, what detail does the customer need to provide? Right? To send money, customer must tell the bank that what is the mode of remittance, like whether DD, TT, MC, BC, NEFT, RTGS, which mode. Second thing is the beneficiary name and address. Third thing is the how much amount to be remitted. And the fourth thing is the sender's name, sender's detail, or beneficiary bank and account number. So just now what we have talked, first of all I told you about remittance. Remittance means transfer of money. That is called remittance. Then between the bank or branches, within city we use banker check. In other city we use DD, MT, TT, NEFT, RTGS. Customer must provide all the necessary detail for a smooth transfer. So these are the key points which we have covered here. So demand draft is a kind of written order from one branch of a bank to another branch to pay a certain sum of money to a person. So this is branch number 1. This is branch number 2. So written order from branch 1, right, to the branch 2. Okay. To what? To pay a certain sum of money to a person. One more point here is that, it is a negotiable instrument. This is the keyword, negotiable instrument, which means the person receiving it can deposit it or transfer it. That is the meaning of negotiability. Means the person who received this demand draft can either, deposit it or transfer it. But, a DD cannot be payable to bearer. Very, very important. Demand draft cannot be payable to bearer. Why? Because if it were, it would act like a cash, which is not allowed under section 31 of the RBI Act 1934. So remember the key rule here, that DD cannot be payable to the bearer. DD not payable to bearer, right? So, it is a negotiable instrument. This thing I already told you. It is not payable to bearer, or why it is I told you. Now what about the banker check? So banker check, also called BCs, it is another way for the bank to make the local payment. Suppose bank want to make the local payment. So they can make the local payment through the BCs. Here you can see the keywords. Right. It is generally used when bank need to pay money on behalf of customer. Right. So suppose this is the bank and they need to pay money on the behalf of customer. Right. So that is called, banker check. So common uses of the banker check include at the request of the customer to make payment. The first common use is at the request of client. Second is paying the balance amount of a deceased person. Right. So second point you can see paying of the balance amount of the deceased account. This is the second way to their legal heir. Right. Suppose I want to pay the balance amount of deceased account to the legal heir. Okay. Or claimant. Then we can use the BC. Third is the paying bill that the bank received from another local bank. Suppose paying bill that the bank received from another local bank. For that payment also banker check can be used. Fourth is paying DPG. You know what is DPG? Deferred payment guarantee. And then paying to contractor, service provider, or for bank purchase. Right. So these are the different purpose. Now friends, these are the different way. These are the common use of the BCs. Now let's look at the key difference in simple term. So if you compare DD and if you compare BC, so you can see DD means money move from one branch to another, and this is mostly used for intercity payment. It is mostly used for intercity payment, right? Between two cities, payment between two cities. Now what is the BCs? What is BC? So BC means money is paid locally. BC means money paid locally, right? Usually within the same city, often on bank behalf. So BC means money paid locally. DD means intercity payment, right? So remember the key points that we learned from this particular slide for revision. First of all, we talked about the DD. DD means the bank order to pay money to a person. It cannot be bearer payable. So DD means that a bank order to pay money to a person, and DD cannot be bearer payable. This is a very very important point. And the BC means local payment by bank for customer or bank on need. What is the use of BC? Customer request, deceased account, local bill, TPG, contractor, services. So this you can see, right? These are the use of BC at the request of the customer. Second is for the deceased account. Third is local bill. Fourth is DPG, deferred payment guarantee. And fifth is contractor and service. So DDs are mainly for sending money safely from one branch to the another, while banker check help with the local payment. So both are the secure way that bank help the move money, right? Now friends, now that we know what DDs and BCs are, let's understand the rule for issuing. So friends, now that we know what DD and BCs are, let's understand the rule for issuing and paying them. This way, this will make it very clear how bank handle them safely. First of all, let's talk about the cash limit and the banking channel. So in this particular paragraph, we are going to talk about the cash limit. So if you want to issue or receive DD or BC in cash, certain limit apply due to income tax rule and anti-money laundering regulation. Yes. So the rule is that DD and BC, right? You can see the DD and BC basically of 50,000 or more cannot be paid in cash. You can see, let me highlight it. So DD and BC for 50,000 and above, right, cannot be paid in cash, but certainly directly to the bank account, right? It cannot be paid in the cash. Very very important. Okay, so DD and BC cannot be paid, cannot be issued in the cash, right? This is a very very important point. So DD of 50,000 or more cannot be paid in cash. It must go through the bank account. Second point, even for 20,000 rupees or more, payment should not be in cash but credited directly to the bank account. See the point. Even for 20,000 rupees, it cannot be cash. It should be credited directly to the bank account. In simple term, big money cannot be handled in the cash form. Right. I hope it is clear. Right. So it must go through the banking channel for safety and the legal compliance. Second point we have is the account pay crossing. Yes, we have the account pay crossing. It says that any DD or BC 20,000 rupees or above must have account pay crossing. So remember the key point is 20,000 and above, and it must have account pay crossing. So these two words you have to keep in the mind. This means money can only be deposited in the account of the named person, making it safer and traceable. Next we have is revalidation and cancellation. Revalidation and cancellation. A DD. So basically, what I mean to say, a DD can be revalidated only once, right? And must be done within 1 year from its issue date. So the key point is DD is revalidated only once within 1 year from the date of issue, right? After 1 year, the DD becomes. Now, friends, we are talking about revalidation and cancellation. So DD can be revalidated only once, and it must be done within 1 year from its issue date. After 1 year, the DD become invalid and it's cancelled automatically. Remember the rule. Then next we have countermanding payment. So once the DD or BC is delivered to the payee, the person who purchased it cannot stop or cancel the payment. So purchaser of the DD and BC has no authority to countermand it payment, right? So payment cannot be countermanded once the DD or BC is delivered to the payee, right? Then we have the duplicate DD and BC, which means that if the DD or BC is lost, a duplicate can be issued, right? This is the keyword. Please remember it. So suppose the DD or BC is lost, a duplicate can be issued. Right. Condition is that payment must not have been made already on the original instrument. Subject to the payment not having made already. So remember the key point. What I told you that that 50,000 DD or BC 50,000 plus must go through the bank. No cash. It must go through the bank, and in this case no cash is there. And then if it is 20,000 plus DD or BC 20,000 plus, account pay crossing is required. Right. So 20,000 plus, in that case, account pay crossing is required. DD revalidation. Right. DD revalidation done only once within 1 year. And countermand is not allowed after delivery delivered to the payee. Right. You cannot countermand it. Countermanding means once the DD or BC is delivered to the payee, the person who purchased it cannot stop or cancel the payment. It can never be stopped. Right. And then duplicate DD-BC. It is allowed if the original payment not made, then duplicate BC. So these rule make sure that DD and banker check are safe, traceable and legally compliant. Right. Now let's look at the next slide. So friends, let's continue with DD and BC and also learn about MT. Suppose the DD or BC is lost. RBI advises that the duplicate should be issued within a fortnight. That means within 15 days. So suppose our DD or suppose our BC is lost. Okay. So what RBI say? RBI say that duplicate should be issued within a fortnight. Here is the key point. Please remember it. Right. Then we have the compensation for the delay. Right. Compensation for the delay, which means if there is a delay in issuing the duplicate, bank must pay interest to the customer. Suppose there is any kind of delay in issuing the duplicate, bank must pay interest to the customer, and the interest rate is the same as the fixed deposit rate for the same period. So interest has to be paid, and the interest rate, the rate of interest would be the same as the FD rate, fixed deposit rate for the customer, and the interest is only for the purchaser or beneficiary, not for the third party holder. Remember, payment of interest for delay will not be applicable for the third party holder. In simple term, if the bank take time to give you a duplicate, you earn some extra money as compensation. Now what is mail transfer? In short, we call it MT. So basically, it is another way to send money between branches of the same bank. Here the amount sent by customer or non-customer is directly credited to the account of the beneficiary at another branch. So what happened, here the account of a customer or non-customer is directly credited to the account of beneficiary. Right. You can think of MT as the sending money inside the same bank quickly without cash directly to the recipient account. So what is MT? MT is sending money inside the same bank. Sending money inside same bank quickly without cash directly to the recipient account. So what we have talked just now about duplicate DD and BC, I told you it to be issued within 15 days. Remember the word fortnight for 15 days. What about the interest for delay? So it is paid to the purchaser only at the fixed deposit rate. This is the very, very important thing, right? So the rate would be applicable would be the FD rate. So you can see fixed deposit. And the last point regarding MT. So money sent directly to the beneficiary account at another branch of the same bank. That is also called, mail transfer. So friends, duplicate DD and BC are protected by the RBI rule, and mail transfer is safe and quick way to move money within the same bank. Now let's talk about the TT. TT is called telegraphic transfer. So in this slide, we are going to understand TT and NEFT. So TT is a way to send money from one bank branch to another. Earlier it was used using telegram, telex or fax, and the receiving branch credit the beneficiary account within 2 days of receiving the fund. So remember the key days. So they have to basically they have to credit the beneficiary account within 2 days of receiving the fund. Now let's talk about the NEFT. You know what is the meaning of NEFT? So NEFT is a digital remittance system introduced by RBI in the year 2005. So in the November 2005, this was a digital payment system which was introduced by RBI. The money is credited to the beneficiary account within few hours. Right? Money is credited to the beneficiary account within few hours. You can see within few hours of the making the remittance, beneficiary account is credited. And it work on a DNS. DNS means deferred net settlement. Right? Meaning transaction are processed in batches, not instantly. So whenever I say DNS, DNS means, batch settlement. Just remember the keyword. DNS means batch settlement. Right, not instantly. And if we talk about the NEFT, NEFT allow transfer of any amount, whether big or whether small. So any amount you can transfer using NEFT. Each bank participants in NEFT has a unique code that is called IFSC. IFSC stands for Indian Financial System Code. Simply put, NEFT is a safe and easy way. NEFT is a safe and easy way to transfer money digitally. Right, and every branch has a special code to ensure that money goes to the right account. So what we have discussed just now, let me summarize. We started with TT. TT means send by telegram transfer. And it has to be credited within how many days? It has to be credited within 2 days of the receipt of fund. While NEFT is the digital and quicker, and every branch identifiable by its IFSC code. Now friends, in this particular slide, we will talk about the benefit of NEFT and also understand RTGS. What are the benefits? First is that easy processing, which means that because everything is automated, so processing become easy. Secure transfer of fund. What does it mean? Your money is safe here. Then no waiting time. No waiting time means, for purchase or delivery, no waiting time is required. No extra cost. No additional cost. So basically, so real benefit of NEFT we have discussed. RTGS stands for, real-time gross settlement. So, payment instructions are processed continuously, real time, and they are settled. So payment instructions are processed continuously. So whenever I say this word continuously, it means, real time. Okay. And settled individually. That is called gross basis. This means every transaction is settled one by one immediately without waiting for batch. Right? Every transaction is settled one by one immediately without waiting for batch. And the receiving bank must credit the beneficiary account. The receiving bank must credit the beneficiary account within 30 minutes of receiving the RTGS message. Right. Now let's look at the limits. Limits and required information for RTGS. So the minimum amount of RTGS is 2 lakh. Right. No maximum amount. Now, to send RTGS, you must provide how much amount to be transferred. Account number. So this question is asked. What are the information required? Amount of remittance, account number to be debited, name of the beneficiary bank and branch with IFSC, complete detail, Name and account number of the beneficiary customer. Sender to receiver information. Why means last point is about the purpose. Basically, why you are sending this thing. Now, what are the benefits of RTGS? Like it is safe and secure. It is available 24 into 7 into 365 basis. And it is a real-time transfer. So these are the key points, key benefits. Let me highlight it. Safe and secure system, 24 into 7, 365 basis, real-time transfer. So let's revise the key point, what we have discussed here. So we started with RTGS. Gross settlement, minimum 2 lakh, no maximum limit. Funds should be credited within 30 minutes. Right. Provide complete transaction detail for traceability. So these are the key points. Benefits of RTGS already I told you. Right. Now EBT. Let's talk about the EBT scheme, which is called electronic transfer. Right. EBT is called electronic benefit transfer. Just remember the keyword. It's called electronic benefit transfer. So what is EBT, electronic benefit transfer? So it is a financial inclusion tool. It helps money reach beneficiary bank account directly. Right. It helps money reach the beneficiary account directly. This could be for wages or subsidies or other administrative payment. Right. It could be for wages. It could be for subsidies or for other administrative payment. One popular form of EBT is called DBT. DBT stands for direct benefit transfer. Right. DBT stands for direct benefit transfer. Please remember it. So basically where payment are made straight to the people bank account. That is called direct benefit transfer. Now, how EBT work? See, state government deals with only one leader per bank per district. Right. So what happened? State government deals with one leader bank per district. And the leader bank is chosen in consultation with RBI and SLBC. Right. So remember the keyword state government. In the case of DBT and EBT, state government deals with only one leader bank per district. You can see the keyword one leader bank model. That is the model which is used. And the leader bank coordinate with other bank in the district on a revenue sharing basis. So here is the key point that the leader bank coordinate with other bank on a revenue sharing contract, right, with other bank in the district. Then basically a nodal department is the state government. Right. So a nodal department in the state government handle all the scheme with the leader bank. A nodal department in the state government handle all the basically scheme with the leader bank. And the nodal department provide the list of beneficiary to the leader bank. So list of beneficiary under all scheme are provided by the nodal department to the leader bank. And then participating bank enroll all the beneficiary, which means open a bank account for them, issue a smart card via business correspondent. So in simple term, the state work with one main bank in the district, which that particular main bank then work with all other bank to make sure that payment reach the right people quickly and safely. Please remember it. Now friends, let's look at the key points which we have covered in this particular slide. So we talked about EBT. EBT stands for electronic benefit transfer scheme. it is the direct electronic payment to the beneficiary bank account. First point, direct payment to the beneficiary bank account. And DBT is one form of EBT, right? DBT is a part of EBT. So we can think of it like this. This is suppose DBT and this is suppose EBT. So one part of this is DBT, right? And operate on one district, many bank, one leader bank model. This is the model, one district, many bank, one leader bank model. And leader bank coordinate with other bank. So there is a leader bank that coordinate with the other bank on revenue sharing basis. Remember it. And beneficiary get bank account and smart card through the business correspondent. So EBT ensure transparency, speed and safety in government payment, making sure that money reaches the right person directly in their bank account. So let's continue with EBT scheme and understand how fund actually reach the beneficiary. Every month, the state government transfer fund to the leader bank. And these funds are deposited in a saving account operated by the nodal department. So where it is deposited? They are reported in the saving bank opened by the nodal department. Nodal department opened a saving bank account in the lead bank where the money are deposited. And the leader bank transfer money to other participating bank on a commission basis. Simply put, what is happening here? Let me show you a flow chart. So from a state, right? From a state, money goes to the leader bank. And then leader bank transfer to other bank. And then it goes to the beneficiary. Now let's look at the key measures for a smooth EBT implementation. So bank account for all beneficiaries are opened and their Aadhaar number are linked. This is called seeding. Seeding means linking the Aadhaar number. So what happened, that bank account for all beneficiaries are opened and their Aadhaar number are linked, which means seeding. And a DBT implementation coordination committee. Right, remember the full form. A DBT implementation coordination committee. So I hope it is clear. DBT implementation coordination committee is formed at the district level. Then BC detail. So BC detail is available district wise as well as a village wise, right? So they are displayed on SLBC website for transparency. And then we have complaint grievance redressal mechanism. So a mechanism is set up in each bank with a complaint redressal officer, right? So a mechanism is set in each bank with complaint redressal officer in each district to handle Aadhaar related grievance. In simple word, account are opened, Aadhaar is linked, local committee coordinate, BC detail are public, and finally complaint can be assessed quickly. So friends, how it works, how the fund flow from a state to the leader bank to other bank to beneficiary, right? I already told you that how the fund move is state to leader bank to other bank to beneficiary. Same day credit. So here's the key point, on the same day. Same day credit to the beneficiary account. Aadhaar seeding for all beneficiary. And then district level DBT committee ensure a smooth implementation. Business correspondent detail online for transparency. Grievance redressal mechanism in every bank and district. So the EBT system is designed to make sure that payments are timely, transparent and easily traceable and beneficiary can receive their money safely and efficiently. Now let's switch our focus to the safe deposit locker. So friends, we are going to learn about safe deposit locker, how they work and the rule for renting them from a bank in the simplest way possible. So friends, let's understand the relationship between the bank and locker. Hierarchy is like, lessor and lessee or bailer and bailee. It means the bank provides the locker, right, and the customer uses it. So basically, what is happening here, that bank provide the locker, the customer uses it, right? So there is something called dual control system. Dual control means hierarchy, means only the hierarchy can lock or unlock, and there is a master key. So you can see two keys are there, hierarchy and master key, right? So hierarchy, which is operated by the hierarchy, can lock and unlock, and master key, which is held by the branch officer in charge, and they can open all the locker if required. So you have your key, the bank has master key, and both together ensure safety. Now the next question is, who can hire locker? Let's answer this question. So locker can be rented by individuals. Lockers are rented to individuals, right? Minor cannot rent it, and or locker can be rented to firm in limited company, association, trust, and society. Now let's discuss hiring out a locker. So here we are talking about the customer due diligence, right? So basically, photograph is required. Recent passport size photograph of the locker hirer. Recent passport size photograph of the locker hirer. Photos of anyone authorized by the hirer to operate the locker. So photo of these two persons are required.